Okay, we are into something that is going to be crucial to overcome any kind of lack of motivation, any lack of inspiration. Anytime you're struggling with anything, we need a system in place. And that is why I've built this today, the Zenith operating system. If you have a plan in place, plans are a little bit too wishy-washy to stick when things don't go perfectly. Systems override that. So we're going to talk about how these systems can literally change everything you've been doing in the past 10, 20, 30 years. Moving forward, you'll never have to worry about this ever again if we nail this. So if you can get this right, you will never need a plan ever again. The problem, first and foremost, it's not really a motivational issue. It's not an issue with struggling with motivation here and there and that kind of dragging you down. It's a system issue because systems override motivation. When you can get your system running, motivation never needs to happen. You can literally get through all of this without motivation. And when motivation does happen, which it will do from time to time, it's quite sporadic, then you can fly. But if we can keep operating with a system, even when motivation's not there, you're actually absolutely going to smash this. So the problem is that we know what to do, right? The lack of information isn't the issue. We've known for years, we've known for centuries that you need to move more, eat better food, lift some weights, make sure we're drinking enough water, getting enough sleep. We know this. If information was the problem, people would have fixed this issue of health and fitness and wellness a long time ago. The gap is what happens when plan A goes out of the window. Now, right now, when plan A goes out the window, nothing happens. And that's the whole issue. So we need to have a backup, which is where a system comes into place. So we'll just go over a plan versus a system right now really quickly. So a plan is one option. A system is three different options. So you've got backups. So the plan initially could be something like, I'm going to train at the gym on Wednesday. Then Wednesday goes wrong, work's busy, kids are poorly, whatever. The plan is completely dead because you haven't got a system in place to give you the backup options. So nothing happens. You miss the workout. Thursday's crazy. You miss that as well. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'll start Monday next week. Whereas if you have a system in place, it would look a little bit like this. I'm going to go to the gym on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday went crazy. Work was busy. Kids were poorly. Whatever happened. Can't get to the gym. What I'll do instead, I got a home workout. If you can't get the home workout done because, again, things just haven't really worked out for you, what you do is you get a walk in. And that is your system. So you've got workout in the gym first and foremost. The backup system is the home workout. The backup system to that is the walk, and that is the floor. That is the non-negotiable. So you at least get something done so you keep moving forward. So that is exactly the same day. The same chaos has happened, a completely different outcome. So the plan only gave you one option. The system gave you three different options, and one of them is always open. So that's how you can keep moving forward with a system in place. Now, why do plans die? Well, a week will generally look like this for the vast majority of people. They start Monday, fully refreshed, great weekend, ready to rock and roll, fully motivated. You nail Monday. You roll into Tuesday. Tuesday's a good day. Not quite as good as Monday, but it's a good day. Wednesday is when things start to go a bit tits up. Things happen at work. Kids could get poorly. You might be poorly. All these different things crop up, right? And then what happens then is you go into Thursday and you write it off because you're like, oh, what's the point? I can't sustain this long term. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday ends up being a write-off. By the end of Sunday, you're like, right, I've got to go again. You start Monday, fully motivated. The same cycle repeats. There's nothing catastrophic here, is there? At all. Nothing at all. Just work got busy on a Wednesday. And because work got busy on a Wednesday, you threw off the whole week. Which, when we think about it, logically, doesn't make any sense, right? Because the problem behind this was that there was only ever one option. And the moment it wasn't available, the whole week kind of derailed. Whereas when you have a system in place, that Wednesday, you can still keep moving forward. And then you look at Thursday in a whole different light. And then you don't end up kind of starting again on Monday, which most people do most weeks. So we can look at this like a ladder. And every system is kind of built like a ladder, which has three different levels to it. So you've got the full level, the backup level, and the floor level, the lowest step, right? So the full one would be what you do when the week is going absolutely perfectly well. That is amazing. That is the ideal week, right? The backup is a slightly different variation of that when things aren't going quite so well. And the floor is the thing you can always do even on your shittest week, even on the worst week ever. Now, nobody can't do the floor. That's the point. The floor level is something every single person can do. No matter what your scenario, no matter what your fitness levels, your floor is going to be something you can do no matter what. So you never hit zero. So Monday is never going to be a restart ever again. So we got to use those three layers. And we're going to just have a few examples here now. So we've got workouts first and foremost. Well, a full layer on a workout will be gym session, 45 minutes, already written in the app, get in, get the job done. If you cannot do that for certain reasons, specific circumstances, you have the backup. home workout, bodyweight workout, 20 minutes in the front room, no commute to the gym, nothing like that. There's a full folder of them in the Zenfit app. You know, you've got plenty of them to get on with. That is your backup. And if you can't do that, again, due to specific circumstances, you fall to the floor level. So the floor level is you still get your steps up. You still get that walk in. You log your movement for the day. That's how this system works. Whether the kids are ill, whether work runs over, whether the gym's shut, the car won't start, whatever it is, you just drop down that level and you don't skip the floor level as the minimum requirement. So that's how this works in terms of workouts. When it comes to nutrition, it will look a little bit like this. The full will be meals planned, prepped, protein at every meal. Boom. Love that. That's a perfect ideal scenario. If you can't quite do that for whatever reason, if you're not prepped, but you build a plate from what was there. So protein first, veg first, carbohydrates eaten second, just to help level out that blood sugar level, keep you feeling fuller for longer, get the fiber in. You've got that kind of nice little method there. And then the floor level will be one anchor meal that day. If all other meals can't be controlled, you have one that you can control with protein and something green in it. That's it, okay? Everything else can be whatever it is, because that will happen from time to time, but you always fall to that floor level, which has at least one good meal in it. So the floor means a bad day of food still has one good meal doing its job. So you've not written the day off completely, you are still ticking over. Okay, you can still keep moving forward with a little bit of momentum, even on your worst day. Same with hydration. So a full day would be 2 to 3 liters of water, bottle on your desk, you refill it twice, right? A backup would be a glass of water with every meal, something as simple as that. No counting, that's just the rule. And the floor would be pint of water, I should say, not a pint. Pint of water every single morning you wake up straight away before you have coffee. This is the one that you never skip. So even later that day, if you're going out drinking or you're traveling or you've got loads of stuff on at work or whatever, you've at least had that pint of water first thing in the morning. And that is your floor level. So that is a system. That's the easiest system to hold. And it takes about 20 seconds to do. There's no reason why everyone can't do that. I do that every single day, have done for about 20 years. It just makes you feel super energized as soon as you wake up. And then we have the steps as well, steps and activity. So the full one would be 3 walks in the day, morning, after lunch and dinner. All right, now that might be unrealistic for most people, but that's the perfect scenario, right? The backup would be 1 proper walk, 30 minutes each day, whenever it fits. Now that should be doable most days, but if some days that's not doable, we fall to the floor level, 10 minutes after your evening meal. Just round the block, out the door, done. That is your everyday. You get that done no matter what, right? Steps also double up as the floor for training days as well, don't they? So on the worst days, the walk is the thing that keeps you in the game. And this is how systems work. And it can even work on holiday, right? So you don't need a strict plan for holiday. You don't need to completely blow everything out of the water either. You can have a happy medium with holiday because we're trying to build a lifestyle here, right? So you just live on the backdrop and floor levels for a week. So basically workouts would be, if you want to do workouts, I don't push workouts on people, but some people like to keep that routine. Hotel room, 20 minutes, 3 or 4 days out of 7. 20 minutes out of a 24-hour day is nothing, is it? Especially when you might be sat on the sun lounger for most of it or eating out or whatever. Not a problem, right? That is your floor and it's covered. With nutrition, your anchor meal every single day. That's your floor level covered. So that's easily done at breakfast most of the time. Loads of protein sources like eggs, meat. You got fruit there as well. It's the meal that you can control most days, so you make it count. After that, you can relax a bit and everything's a bit more flexible, right? Hydration, this is the one that tends to go because of the heat and because of people tend to drink more alcohol. Have that glass of water first thing upon waking every single day, that floor level. And the same with the steps. That will just sort itself out because most of the time we're getting some steps in. Whether if you're in an all-inclusive in a sun lounge, it's a different story, but try and get the steps in and that is your floor level again. So the same 4 systems, just the floor level. So when you're on holiday, hit that floor. If you can go above it, even better if you want to, but hit that floor. There's nothing groundbreaking there at all. And that is a system you can have when you go on holiday. And when you come home from holiday, this is the bigger issue. So the damage isn't done on holiday, believe it or not. It's done the 4 days after. So you get home on a Sunday, you're still in holiday mode, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday even, and you're telling yourself, you know what, I'll start properly next week. Or if it's towards the end of the month, I'll start properly next month. Make sure your first meal back is an anchor meal. Good quality food, protein, greens, some carbs in there, good quality, nutritious foods. First day back, you train, whether that's at home, whether that's in the gym, whether that's a good long walk. No detox, no punishment, no slashing calories because you're overindulged on holiday. You just get back to it, okay? Never miss twice. That is my ethos, never miss twice. And that is the whole bigger picture with everything that we're trying to do here. So the action task from this now, and I want you to do this because it's really super important. Pick one system, write down your 3 levels for that system, right? Then have a proper think about this one. Not just kind of glaze over this, have a proper think about this. Last time that your week fell apart and went wrong, everything went wrong and you kind of threw the towel in, did anything survive it? Did your steps survive? Did your food? Did your workouts? Did your hydration? Did any of those survive? If the answer is nothing, that's a problem, right? And that's something we are aware enough to change. And that's exactly what we can build here. But have a think about that, right? So we've got your full, we've got your backup, and we've got your floor. Full, backup, floor. Remember that. You always have somewhere to go when there's a system in place. So have a think about what your full, your backup, and your floor is for your workouts, for nutrition, for your hydration, for your steps, and even for a holiday if you've got a holiday coming up, right? Have a think about this. Write it down. Let me know. I really want to know about this. So let me know how this is going, what kind of ideas you've got, what you think your 3 levels are, and we'll go from there. So guys, really important. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one. Let me know if you need any help with this or any questions. Speak to you in a bit.